about the early days, right? So we talked about when you're working in an organization, right? There's hierarchy, there's systems, and you're not the only one in that system, right? You know what I'm saying? You can set the vision and you can have a whole team there to execute it, right? And then you move into an entrepreneurial world. So tell us about that shift and the challenges and what you learned and how was it different from an employee to an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur, you have to learn to manage your stress, because suddenly what happens is you realize that, like, the company that I took over very quickly became 400 people, 400 into, let's say, 4 families for 1,600 people. Now you start worrying and making sure that there is cash flow so that you can give monthly salary to everybody for all the 400 people that you have on your payroll, right? So, then you have to learn to manage that stress, at least in the initial days of entrepreneurship. Some of those are, very, very real things for you. So you start happily managing that, and suddenly you realize, oh my God, it is the buck stops with me. I think that's the realization that comes, right? The second thing that happens with young CEOs forget, they try and do everything because they have the thought process, they know they can do it. So they try and do everything which is out there, and then you forget and say, hey, hold on, this is not going to work out. It's not a scalable model, right? So then you say, let me get a team and let me empower my team and let my team now flourish. And that's a learning that you get as a young CEO as well, to say, let me hire the best and the brightest which is there. And that old cliche which is there, that let the team work out so well so the team says that it is we who have done it and not the boss, right? So I think that's you learn that if you have to be successful, you really have to learn that very quickly as well. So as an entrepreneur, you learn that. Other is you learn to manage yourself. Frankly, if you don't manage yourself, you will fail. And you talked about sacrifices earlier. I had put on almost 70 pounds extra. Some of those videos that were there, you've seen it. So at my peak, I was 252 pounds. Thankfully, during some point in time, I realized that is, probably if I don't manage it, it'll kill me. So, then I brought all the way down back myself. But yeah, so, I think you learn to manage yourself, you learn to manage your health, you learn to manage your ego. Your ego can be, it can be, it really can be very brutal for you, because, everybody's clamoring for you. Everybody's now, you don't even know whether you're being the truth or somebody's just giving you BS because, you're the boss and stuff like that. I'll give you an example how that works out. My son, he was in grade 8 and came to do an internship for us for a month. Everybody he would associate with, all the junior guys, would say, hey, this is Sunil ka beta, hopefully everybody understands Hindi on this call. This is Sunil ka beta. And then they will say, hey, please tell your dad that I did this, right? And that's when you start realizing, hey, hold on, right? You have to keep your ego in check. Otherwise, these things can get. So yeah, so I think those are all the learnings that you get. It doesn't come naturally to you. It takes time. You're also, I would say in hindsight, I was a little arrogant as well. I said, I used to run $1 billion business in IBM. What can go wrong by me running a small little company, right? And you very quickly realize that IBM has systems and people, and the IBM credit card, IBM visiting card carries so much more weight as opposed to just Sunil Bhatia. So I think those are things that you learn very, very quickly, and that journey is. I've seen people, a lot of my close friends fall flat. A, with that, and B, the second thing you learn, and this may be useful to a lot of entrepreneurs on this thing, you need to figure out how do you get across what I call a hamster model, and how do you find escape velocity in revenue. And then this is a really important point, because the businesses that I took over, they were all, they would sell projects which would sell for 9 months, and then after 9 months, the projects would get over. And let's say you sold $1 million work, and if you now don't return it to $1 million, or you don't take it to $2 million, your business is not growing. So there, the business will grow. It'll grow to a particular size, but it'll always remain at that particular size. And one of the things that you learn quickly as a CEO is that, hey, it's your job to figure the escape velocity for the business. And if you don't figure that out, it's going to be a problem. So I think those are some key learnings.